I played 200 days of Stardew Valley as an adventurer with nothing but my pickaxe and a sword to guide my way in the world. That's a little bit dramatic, but you get the picture. If you're watching this before seeing the first 100 days, I respect it, but you should definitely watch the first, otherwise you'll be a little bit lost. We achieved a lot in the first 100 days, and I wanted to keep the momentum going, but at first I kind of struggled, as you'll soon see. However, I did set myself some lofty goals to achieve by the end of the challenge. I wanted to marry Lance, have 3 coops for dinosaurs, win the egg hunt, unlock Mr. Chee's walnut room, make 2 million gold in total, and I wanted to move forward with the Adventurers Guild expansion mod. It doesn't sound like it, but that's a lot to get done, especially in the time frame that we had. So, with nothing but a dream, and a lot of the hard work already done thanks to past Vexio, I dived back into my adventurer farm. So, I was actually a little bit unsure on what to do at first. It had been a little while since I'd played in this save, so I just kind of felt a bit lost. There was much to consider, but where to begin? Well, it was the wizard's birthday, so we gave him a gift. Then we went on to complete 2 quests for Clint. We cracked open an artifact trove and found another ancient seed. Is this run going to be as lucky as the last? I hope so. Next, I gave gifts to Lance and Marlon before venturing into a new mod I downloaded for this save. The Deep Woods mod adds a new combat area similar to the Skull Caverns, except, well, you guessed it, it's in the woods. You can get lost, and as you get deeper, the monsters get much tougher. It was our first time there, but we managed to make it to level 5, which was a pretty good effort if I do say so myself. On day 102, I was still kind of waiting for things to get moving really, as quite a lot of the Stardew Valley Expanded story points don't actually progress until year 2. However, we did get a letter from the wizard inviting us to go and learn some basic magic, which we did. Unfortunately, right now we can't actually do anything with that, but hopefully in the future we can. We also gave gifts to Marlon and Silly, and then headed to the regular mines and gathered 40 copper for Clint. It was a bit of a mixed day today. I opened up a treasure chest, but it was nothing good, so thanks for that, Clint, I appreciate it. We did complete a quest for him though, so at least we got his money. Then, it was our first visit to Skull Caverns. Finally, we were back, and it went pretty well. We got a ton of rabbit's feet, and managed to get quite far down, which I was pleased about. It wouldn't be this series without spending a ton of time in the Skull Caverns, so, you guessed it, we were back on day 104. And you could say we were pretty lucky today. We found 2 treasure rooms which had mega bombs and a purple slime egg. And I also took footage of the chest disappearing because I'm still very excited about it. We opened a treasure trove in the morning, but it had glass shards, so obviously I was disappointed, but apparently we hadn't found or given it to the museum before, so it turned out okay in the end. I was feeling brave on day 105, so I decided to try going into the deep woods again. Well, I very quickly got lost, and resigned myself to being trapped there for the foreseeable future. However, a lovely and kind jumping spider decided to kill me, which solved that problem. It may sound like a bad day on the surface of it, but I did find 2 ancient seeds there and a lot of blue jazz. It was another brave day on day 106, and I was committed to getting as far as possible in the deep woods. My bravery paid off because we managed to get to level 20, but it was hard. Those jumping spiders are so difficult to fight and they very nearly killed me. Again. But who can complain when they find 7 ancient seeds? Not me, that's for sure. It was back to the trusty Skull Caverns today. It's familiar, I know it well. It would never betray me. First though, we planted our ancient seeds, and opened treasure troves which gave us brand new items. Our Skull Caverns run was okay too. Nothing special, but a steady supply of decent stuff. A rabbit's foot, diamonds, loads of gems, you get the picture. It was a very quiet day today. Winter in Stardew Valley often brings this slow vibe that can become tiring after a while. I don't know if anybody else ever feels like that, but I often just want to skip right on through it. To change things up a little bit, we paid Robin to upgrade our house, we fixed the bridge on the beach, and gave out gifts, and that's about it really. Day 109 was the Feast of the Winter Star. Our lucky gift receiver was Jazz, which worked out quite well, as we have a few pink cakes thanks to slimes in the Skull Caverns, but I can't imagine it would taste very nice. She seemed happy though. Demetrius had us, and we received a pumpkin pie. I would have preferred a prismatic shard, but you know, you've got to pick your battles. We were feeling extra lucky on day 110, so I decided to brave it again in the deep woods, which was so worth it. Not only did we manage to get to level 25, we also found 4 ancient seeds and our first prismatic shard of the run. And we leveled up in farming. Plus, there were barely any monsters around. A very successful day in my eyes. Day 111 was kind of a nothing day. We went to Clint's to open some geodes to try and find the last mineral we need, which is Tiger's Eye, but absolutely no luck whatsoever. It was around this time I started to get quite excited about the concept of finishing the museum, and this is gonna be a thing. Then I gave gifts to Silly and Marlon before heading to the volcano where, surprise surprise, I had forgotten my watering can. I did manage to go into the fighting areas though to defeat magma sprites. I passed out on the farm, and you know, that's standard Beck behaviour. On day 112, I didn't really know what to do with myself. It was the last day of winter, and I was excited. I'd planned on going into the deep woods, but when I got there, I realised I'd forgotten my warp totem, so I came back. Warp totems are really important when doing the deep woods because you can't get out without them. You get lost and that's it, you're stuck. So I killed loads of slimes on the way back and then went to sleep super early. It was the first day of spring, so we didn't really have much to do today as we're not farmers, we're adventurers, so the seasons mean nothing to us. However, we said hello to Kent who had returned, cracked open 2 treasure troves, then went into the deep woods, which looks much better in the spring. There were fruit trees too, which was great. Hello, free fruit. We did make it to level 21, but I didn't find anything good. There wasn't much to do on day 114. I'm still waiting for Expanded Year 2 stuff to get started, so I was just chilling really. So yesterday we had taken a town board quest requesting bug meat, so we spent the rest of the day in the mines gathering the required meat. We also gave a gift to Lance, but he hated it. Sad. I did make some preserve jars for the fruit we found in the deep woods though. I may as well make use of it. I've got money to make. I also found another ancient seed in the mines, so it was a bit of a mixed day to be honest. I was a little bit confused today, as I wasn't sure why various late game things weren't being made available, so I actually spent a lot of time trying to trigger quests and googling things. I did eventually figure it out, although I'm a bit disappointed we don't have access to some late game stuff due to choosing the Jojo route, but I suppose it just means we'll have to come back to it later. I spent the rest of the day chopping wood, so, you know, it wasn't really that exciting. On day 116, things finally began to move along. It was a big day. Today, we finally met Krobus and opened up the sewers. We proceeded to pick up the Dark Talisman and buy our Star Drop from Krobus because we have been struggling. It's been tricky out here with only a little bit of energy. Next, we went up to the railroad where Marlon invited us to join the adventurers meetings with the wizard, which was very kind of him. Thank you for recognising my importance, bestie. After that, we gave the Dark Talisman to the weird bird thing, fished up some void mayonnaise, grabbed the magic ink and returned it to the wizard. He gave us access to his little magic shop where we can buy warp points. I'm definitely aiming for the desert one. What a productive day. We unlocked the Sprite Spring and spent loads of time trying to find it. This was the next step towards unlocking the Crimson Badlands area, so I was keen to get this sorted. We eventually found it after some googling and were greeted by some lovely spirits who told us all about the spring. We created a nexus point, which is like a little magical floor warp point, and went exploring where we found some lovely seasonable forageables. But it was the cave behind the large waterfall that yielded something good. We found a ton of ancient fruit. At this point we don't have a keg, so I opted just to sell it. We also bought a sweet gem berry seed from the merchant and a cool as hell bookcase. The day was finally here. We had unlocked the Crimson Badlands. A new witch called Camilla turned up on our doorstep this morning and whisked us away to Castle Village, where she explained who she was and what she wanted. Our help. So we made a nexus point, met Isaac. By the way, why isn't he marriageable? It's giving enemies to lovers, and I want in on that. And then off we went on our first attempt at the Badlands. I died, unsurprisingly, but it didn't go as dreadfully as I thought it would. We managed to survive for quite a while and got a hefty amount of loot in the process, so that was fun. Back on the farm, we made more crystallariums, and that's it. Day 119 was a quieter day. We were dropping off gifts to people and advancing quests. I dropped off a gift to Marlon and Silly before going around in circles with the war photo quest for Ginger Island. We dropped off an amethyst with Sandy for an extra quest and visited the wizard where we caught 2 cutscenes, and he revealed that he had an affair with Caroline. This is one of my favourite conspiracy theories of the game, so I'm glad it was made canon and expanded. Busy day today. We completed Birdie's quest on Ginger Island, completed part of the Big Boy Frog quest, went home to get everything I needed to survive on the island, but by the time I got back to Willie's he was closed, so I just went to bed early. On day 121, Marlon was at my door asking me to go to the guild as soon as possible as he needed to talk to me, but that would have to wait for now. I went to Ginger Island to plant some seeds, kill some sprites, and try to get me some golden walnuts. I got 0 walnuts, but I did kill a ton of sprites, so it worked out in the end. Day 122 was another grindy Ginger Island day. We watered our stuff, cleared the farm a little bit, got the walnut where the weird pop-up worm is on the beach, got a walnut out of a clam node, then tried to find fossils. Which, that went pretty well. We found the fossilised frog and a fossilised tail. Then we went home. Easy stuff. It was a big day at Ginger Island today. We managed to get a ton of walnuts by fishing, digging spots up, and doing the musical task. The musical task is an absolute nightmare for my no-thoughts head empty brain. In the past, I've usually recorded it on my phone because I struggle so much, but I did it off vibes alone today, so not to brag, but I'm pretty happy. We also unlocked the resort. On day 124, I almost died when I made slime presses for my slime hutch. My slimy children tried to murder me. The disrespect. I potted off to Ginger Island where I completed the Gourmand quest and the bear fossil. I also enchanted my watering can, it got bottomless, and my axe, which got swift, before heading home to plant my banana tree, which I received for completing the fossil quest. I won the egg festival. Take that, Abigail. On day 126, I tried to go to the Skull Caverns, but Pam didn't turn up, that's rude. Instead, I went to Crimson Badlands, which was going well until it wasn't. I lost quite a lot of valuable stuff as a result of dying. So I went to see Marlon to recover it, and he told me about Lance's base in the Highlands. He asked me to get some stuff for it before he'd let me go, so we went monster hunting once again. We also gave Silly the slime a gift. Today, we monster hunted, found a prismatic shard, and completed the Marlon Highlands quest. Success! I wanted to explore the Highlands today, so we went there with Marlon, where we saw our future husband's house. Lance asked us if we could plant some slime seeds. This was a new development that we were only too happy to do. So we did some hunting there and got 5, which we planted as soon as we got home. We did get knocked out, but Lance saved us. Then we handed out gifts, hit 3 stars with Silly, and planted mixed seeds. I wanted to give the Crimson Badlands another go today, so off we went, and off we died, thanks to the big boy serpent which came out of nowhere. Then we went to the guild to give Lance a gift and check in on Silly. We also crafted some new clothes using cloth we looted from the monsters. I decided to do a Skull Caverns run today because I wanted more money and I wanted a win. No, I needed a win. We hadn't been having much luck recently, so I decided to go to our trusty caverns, and oh boy, it was a win. 2 prismatic shards, a second lucky ring, 5 diamonds, and 3 dinosaur eggs. It was fine, I suppose. I was trying to find a treasure room because I'd like a seed maker too, but I was just grateful for what I did find. I went to the Crimson Badlands to get the Tempered Galaxy Sword from Isaac, but I was being a bit indecisive about it. It's an improved version of the Galaxy Sword, so I was very tempted, but I couldn't actually decide whether I wanted to buy it. It's a lot of money, it's worth 600,000 gold, so I kind of left without it in the end. Then I went up to the Highlands armed with a dream, but I was knocked out, but Lance saved us. I went back to the valley with the intention of going to Ginger Island to boost the level of our sword with a ruby, but I didn't make it in time. Willy closed, so I went to bed early. The witch stopped by to give us a void egg, which was actually a lovely treat. Today, we managed to get to Ginger Island to forge our weapon into a much more powerful one. With 3 rubies in hand, we managed to get our sword damage up to 135 max, which is pretty good. We also had a cute little cutscene with Lance where he told us about magical relics and the backstory of the island. It was cute, I liked it. Then we did some magma sprite murdering before heading home. I wanted to head to the deep woods today to test out my new stronger sword, but also to try and acquire some more ancient seeds. My goal is to slowly build the farm up using what we find through monster hunting, so this is perfect. We only found 1 though, and then we died, so it wasn't really a great trip out. I just really love pain. We went to the Highlands today and it went pretty well. We got into a new section and got 2 new seed types and tackled loads of monsters before getting taken out. So we came home, planted the seeds, and gave Silly a gift instead. I went to Ginger Island today to collect some pineapples, but we were just a few experience points short of hitting a level 6 farming, which is super frustrating. Then it was off to the volcano to fight some magma sprites. We came back early and gave gifts to Marlon and Lance. It was a flower dance all alone again today. Our husband is off saving the world though, so it's fine. We got a new dinosaur and I put my void egg in the incubator, so things are happening at least. We did it. We finally achieved Protector of the Valley status. Today we went to the island where it was raining, and I was hoping there'd be a new bird with a new gem, but no, there wasn't. So we went up to the volcano, stopping along the way to give Lance a present and have a little chat. Then we went in to start killing magma sprites, and we eventually did it. We beat that monster slaying goal, which means we've officially completed all of them. I've never done this before, so I was actually really excited. On day 138, I decided to try the deep woods again, and you know what? I found loads of stuff and even got a fairy rose, which was nice. I did die though to a jumping spider, and let me tell you, I hate those things. I despise them actually. When I got back to the house after being charged by Harvey, my crystallarium diamonds were done, so at least I could sell 25. So here's a fun little story. It's 10:57 in the evening. I have been editing this video for a few days now, and I have just realised that I missed day 139 off when I was writing my script and filming this entire series. So everything from here on in, it's a day ahead. Just pretend day 139 happened, because that is the only way that I can fix this right now. So this is actually 199 days in Stardew Valley. Frustrating, but it happens. With that, enjoy the rest of the video. Today was a very chill day. We didn't do too much. We received a letter from the wizard telling us that we can make a warp point to the deep woods. So I went to check it out. Turns out it costs 10 million gold, so it's a no for now. We went to the Adventurers Guild to pick up our Magma Sprite ring, but I didn't actually take it. I was really tempted to download the expanded ring slot mod, but I figured it would make me too overpowered, even though I've earned it. We gave Gabriel a green algae for a quest, and we built a horse house too. Then we organised our chests. Very, very chill. I decided to go to the Crimson Badlands today with a dream of getting it done. I did not get it done, but I loaded up on food and gave it another go. And again, I did not get it done. Are you sensing a pattern here? First day of summer, and I went to give Lance a slime berry as it was the first time one had grown. We also bought the recipe for the hero potion from Isaac, as well as 3 actual hero potions. Then we went to the Highlands. I managed to get quite far into one of the caves before dying. Lance saved us, and we lost the potions that we'd just bought. So we went and bought sprinklers from Sophia, and then off we went to explore the Sprite Spring again. I spent the day trying to achieve things today. I'd been growing a sweet gem berry because I was on a quest to up my energy levels. Well, today it had finally finished growing, so we took it to the forest and gave it to the statue, who gave us a star drop. Then we took our Omni Geodes and treasure chests to Clint to try and find the last bits we needed for the museum. We finally got a tiger's eye, and we got a flute box, so now we're just missing the Nautilus fossil as I went to the desert to collect the strange doll too. We gave Lance and Marlon presents and collected our lost hero potions. Oh, and I also found a mango tree too. We opened some treasure troves trying to find the Nautilus shell on day 144. The hunt for the Nautilus shell is the bane of my existence in this playthrough. It's made only worse by the fact that it's an artifact that you can't actually get from treasure troves, so we went to Ginger Island to try and find it there. Unsurprisingly, it was not there. I did harvest pineapples though, which leveled us up in farming, which is good. We also found the next gem in the bird quest and a snake vertebrae. We went to the dig site and found loads of bones, but nothing we need. So we came home and gave gifts to Lance and Silly. We went back to Ginger Island today to give Lance a void root for the crops quest, hunted for the second snake vertebrae, and handed in the last gem for the bird quest, which gave me more walnuts. I then opened the island trader, checked in on Chi for how many walnuts I need to enter his room, and then went to the pirates and beat the darts challenge pretty easily. Not to brag or anything. Spent the day fishing to try to find a Nautilus fossil. We didn't. I did get to level 1 in fishing though, which only took 146 days. Well, I had planned on going to the Skull Caverns today, but Pam wasn't there again, so I couldn't do that. Cheers Pam, kids are crying. Instead, I gave a gift to Silly, went to the spring, and then did some fishing to try and find the Nautilus fossil. It didn't happen. I bought a shed from Robin on day 148 to house my growing crystallarium collection before heading to the Skull Caverns, where we had a pretty good luck run. We found quite a few diamonds and another lucky ring. I cannot believe the luck. 3 lucky rings this playthrough. Absolutely wild stuff. On day 149 we went to the Highlands and managed to get through quite a lot of the cave section and found the last seed we needed for the crops quest. We went through a lot of spicy eel, which was less good, but we also found a treasure chest worth 10k. Not shabby at all. Halfway through and it was a slow day today. I gave Lance a gift, added the crystallariums to the shed, went to Ginger Island to try and find the Nautilus fossil, snake spine, or walnuts. I did find 3 walnuts from fishing and just out in the world, but nothing else. We went to Ginger Island today to try and find various bits, and it was finally time to enter Mr. Chee's room. I took the quest to make it to the bottom of Skull Caverns without eating or drinking anything, because there are a couple of things I want to get from him, such as the Galaxy Souls, the Horse Flute, and the key to the town. Oh, and I also leveled up in farming. So I wanted to go to the Skull Caverns, but it was luau day. So I put in a gold star purple mushroom and it was loved. Nice. I wanted to go to Skull Caverns again, but Pam wasn't there again. I regret building the resort, 100% regret it. I went to see the wizard to see how much it would cost to build the warp totem there, so I think we're aiming towards that now. Then I just cleared up the farm a little bit. I finally got to the Skull Caverns today and we had so much luck. I ate a dewberry before, so it boosted my luck and speed for the entire day. But I should have changed my rings to the vampire ring to give me health every time I killed a monster. I did make it to level 94 though, but I died to a serpent. I was so close. Armed with a vampire ring and a whole lot of hope, I went back to the Skull Caverns. Down, down, down we went, battling serpents, mummies, ghosts, bats and slimes. We picked up a couple of good things along the way, and I basically used my entire stone reserve to get down there, but we did it. We got 25 chi points and a prismatic shard for our troubles. It doesn't entirely seem worth it, but sometimes you have to sacrifice for the grind. On day 156, I went back to Ginger Island to see if I could afford anything from Mr. Chi, but I couldn't. So I took a new quest to get 50,000 points in Junimo. Why did I do that? It was a mistake. I went to attempt it, but I failed massively. Very much big sad times. Instead, I went to the desert and I died. It was a kind of admin-y day today. I bought oil from Pierre, which is needed for the hero elixir recipe, gave a gift to Silly and Lance, made some more preserve jars, planted an ancient seed, and went to the deep woods to explore. It was a day. Even though it was a bad luck day, I wanted to go to the Skull Caverns to try and find some good stuff. We didn't get too much monster loot, but we got quite a few diamonds and a purple slime egg from a treasure chest. Bit disappointing, but it's fine. I didn't really know what to do today, so I went to bed early. I did try to build a new coop, but Robin was rudely taking the day off. I did upgrade my axe though. Today, I took the plunge. I bought the Tempered Galaxy Sword from Isaac in the Crimson Badlands. I'd been umming and ahhing about it for ages, but decided I'd get it, because I could upgrade it to be more powerful than the highest upgraded Galaxy Sword. So after this, I went to the island to do just that. I used 3 rubies to get the power up, and then tried to get Crusader. First I got Haymaker, then I got Bug Killer, but after going into the volcano to source some more Cinder Shards, I finally got Crusader. All those prismatic shards finally came in handy. It was a pretty big adventure day on day 161. First we ordered a coop from Robin, then we went to the Badlands. We got pretty far to be honest, but I didn't realise that the buffs wouldn't stack from various things, so I used my gold star dewdrop and a hero elixir, but the elixir got rid of the berry buffs. Don't mind me, I'm just screaming into the void. I did get a prismatic shard though, and got pretty far but was killed by the big boy. So I healed up and went back in. And I died again to the big boy, but I got much further this time, and I think I even almost killed him too. Like, I got a lot of hits in. We also leveled up in farming. Progress is slowly happening. Today was much quieter after all the excitement of day 161. It was a bad luck day, and we needed something a bit more peaceful to do. So I went to see Lance in the Highlands as the last 2 crops for his monster crop questline were ready. We encountered a heart event here where we went on a field study with him, which was quite fun. We gave him the crops, then came home. I collected my axe from Clint and made a seed maker so we can expand our ancient fruit fields. And I made some tappers too so we can make kegs, but I don't really go anywhere with this because I wasn't entirely sure if it was in the spirit of the challenge. Then I chopped down loads of wood on the farm and made 2 iridium sprinklers. It was a new Chi quest day on day 163, so off I popped to Ginger Island to see what was available, as I desperately needed to make the Infinity Sword. I chose the ship 100,000 gold worth of cooked goods one, which isn't the best. I was hoping for a fun mining one, but I suppose I'll take what I can get. I headed home to work out what I could cook, which mostly consisted right now of just throwing everything at the wall and seeing what will stick. I went and bought loads of items from Joja to help, like oil, flour, sugar, that sort of stuff, and Pierre wouldn't sell me anything because he was mad it was Joja Day. In the end, I made 396 bread, which is possibly the most cooking I've ever done in this game. We were in our Gordon Ramsay chef era at this point, so I went back to Georgia to buy more flour. I also bought cranberry seeds, as I thought I could make something with them, but I can't yet, so it turns out they were a massive waste of money. I then went to give Lance a present. He appeared at my house and thanked me for giving him the crops and said he'd left a present at his house. So we went to the Highlands to collect it, and he'd given us a wand that teleports monsters away. In theory this could come in handy, but in reality I only use it about 3 times. The kitchen was calling at this point, so we went home and made 1,000 bread. Yep, 1,000 bread. What do you think we did on day 165? If you guessed that we went to Georgia to buy some more flour and made 1,000 more bread, you'd be 100% correct. Well done. I also gave gifts to Lance, Marlon and Silly and finally became besties with Marlon. Then it was to the deep woods where I didn't get very far and didn't find very much loot. A mixed day really. We did it. We beat the Crimson Badlands. Definitely more exciting than making bread. It was a good luck day, so I armed myself with all of the good things in life and headed into the Badlands. I bought some haste potions along the way, drank some hero elixir and went out. I raced across, and at first I didn't encounter the Apophis serpent, so I got into the secret cave just fine. I met a cutscene, gathered my treasure chests, but I needed a prismatic shard to unlock the chest in the middle. So I went home, grabbed my shard, grabbed some more mushrooms and came back and got the galaxy slingshot, which, to be honest, is useless to me. I never use slingshots in this game. But when I went outside again, Apophis was there, waiting. And I managed to defeat him. I was chuffed beyond belief. Apophis only spawns once a day, so I took this as my opportunity to see as much of the Badlands as possible. I went home and got some more prismatic shards because it seemed like there was more to get from the treasure chest in the cave, but it just gave me another slingshot. The only thing worse than one useless slingshot is 2 useless slingshots. But I went to the Iridium Quarry and killed some stuff and got another shard, so I was very happy with day 166. It was a much quieter day today. Yesterday was crazy, so I was happy to take it a little bit easier. I decided I wanted to try and catch a fish that Lance had mentioned in the field study cutscene, but I didn't have much luck. Maybe it's a questline that is yet to be developed, or perhaps my fishing level is not quite high enough to catch it. I did pass out in the Highlands, so I lost quite a lot of stuff unfortunately. Today was even quieter. I was obviously still reeling from the Crimson Badlands experience, so I didn't do a lot today. I just went fishing to try and find the Nautilus fossil, but no luck. On day 169, I had planned on going to the island to pick up a new chi quest, but then I remembered it was the Dance of the Jellyfish day, so I wouldn't be able to. Instead, I gave the Joja driver a rabbit's foot, which permanently increased my luck before heading to Skull Caverns for a little adventure. And that rabbit's foot was working overtime, because I had quite a lot of luck with 2 treasure rooms, but I didn't find anything good. It was the first day of autumn today, and we finally managed to get to the island to pick up a new chi quest. I chose the quest to deliver 4 prismatic shards, as we've had pretty good luck with shards up to this point. Then I bought a galaxy soul piece before heading back. I went to the mines to farm gold and also made 4 new crystallariums. My relationships with Lance and Silly are almost in a very good place, so I gave them both gifts to help us get there. I blew up the quarry in the hopes that there would be more shards there, but nope. So instead I tried to go to the Crimson Badlands to get better gifting items for Lance, but I died. So I went to the beach to see if there was a Nautilus fossil. You have 3 seconds to guess whether there was one. If you said nope, you were right. So I consoled myself by making more crystallariums and going to sleep. I needed to find better gifts for Lance if I wanted to be in a position to marry him before the end of the 200 days. If winter hits before we marry him, we might not be able to buy a mermaid pendant because they can only be bought when it's raining. I was on a mission here and time was quickly running out. I went to the Highlands and spent the entire day fishing to try and get the daggerfish, which is one of Lance's loved gifts, and I finally got one at the end of the day. Not amazing, but it will do for now. We did find a dinosaur egg in a fishing chest though. I handed in my 4 prismatic shards to Chi today and bought the 2nd galaxy soul piece. We're so close to the infinity sword I can almost taste it. I gave Lance a gift before heading into the Skull Caverns where I had a little bit of luck. I love finding hats in the treasure rooms even though they are basically useless, and I found a red cowboy one. All is well in the world. It was back to the Highlands on day 174 to stock up on presents for Lance. We are sorted with loved gifts for the next 3 weeks now, which is good. I will take that. I then came back and did some fishing to try and find the Nautilus shell. Less luck there. The wizard wanted me to kill a ghost for him, and I was only too happy to oblige. We ticked off another goal today as we hit the 2 million gold mark. To celebrate, we went to Skull Caverns to farm gold for crystallariums. Usually I struggle for wood in Stardew, not gold, so this is a new development. I had planned on completing the Grandpa's Shed quest today that Robin had given us at the end of the first 100 days, but I realised I'd rather use my resources to make crystallariums as they're more useful to me at this point. It was a boring day today. I went to Ginger Island to get a new Chi quest, but they hadn't reset. We finally reached 8 hearts with Lance and Silly on day 177. To celebrate, Lance took us on a little date to an island to meet the first Slash people. This seems like it could lead somewhere really interesting, but I'm not sure whether this quest is finished. After that, I picked up a new Chi quest, which was to hand in another 4 prismatic shards. We have 1, but we need 3 more. So we needed to go to the Skull Caverns. We got lots of things in the caverns, but we didn't get any prismatic shards. Day 178 was a big story day. We finally introduced Silly to the town, which is great, and they gave us the Slime Heart and Slime Heart seeds. The people in the town seem to warm up to Silly, and it'll be fun to see them around the town now. We also gave Lance a bouquet, so we're now officially boyfriend and girlfriend. I can hear the bells. Then we went to Skull Caverns to prismatic shard hunt, and we found 1. Only 2 to go now. Back to the Skull Caverns, but I didn't have very much luck unfortunately. I did however get a new Iridium axe, so there's something. I decided to try a new prismatic shard hunting tactic today by heading into the deep woods, but nope. I did however die, so cheers game. I'm still trying to find another prismatic shard. It feels impossible though, and we're running out of time. I went to the regular mines instead, but couldn't find a magic stone, which has a 25% chance of dropping a prismatic shard. Then I went to Clint's to open geodes, but he wasn't there. I went back to the mines and still no shard. It was a good luck day on day 182, so we went to the Skull Caverns to try and get another prismatic shard, and we did! It was actually a very good luck day because we also got 2 hats and another auto grabber. Sometimes the game gives you nothing, and other times it gives so much. 1 shard to go. Today was much the same, wooing Lance, opening geodes and shard hunting. And again, we gave Lance a gift, went to the Skull Caverns and got a crystallarium, but nothing else good. The Stardew Valley Fair had come back around and I'd learnt my lesson from last year. So I bought 999 tokens, won 1000 by coming first place, and won 1 on the strength machine. It's not in the spirit of the fair, but I wanted my star drop. I'd more than earned it at this point. It was back into the caverns today, and despite it being a very good luck day, there were no shards. Lots of bombs though. And on day 187, we finally did it. Not only did we find 1 prismatic shard, we found 2. Thank you for blessing this run, Yoba. So I actually forgot to unpause my recording today after taking a little quick break, so here's a rundown. I went to the island to try and forge my infinity blade, but unfortunately we only got enough cinder shards to add 1 of the galaxy souls. I realised that the 600,000 gold weapon I'd bought was worthless as it couldn't be forged, and I found 2 tiger slime eggs which are worth a massive 8k each. And now, you're up to date. We'd spent the night on the island so I could properly maximise my time in getting more cinder shards. And we did it. Nobody can stop us now that we have the infinity blade. There are only 10 days left of the challenge, and I really needed things to move along. So we gave Lance a gift, and I decided to get foraging up as a failsafe in case we needed to make a rain totem to force rain in winter. We had a couple of cutscenes with the wizard and Marlon about the void shard, which I got when Apophis died. I also went out to the first Slash headquarters and discovered I now have a room there. I'm really intrigued to find out what will happen here. Oof, today was a day. We gave Lance a gift and finally got to 10 hearts with him. So he invited us to go spend the day with him at the first Slash, where he showed us around and gave us a little day in the life. And then, scandal. He took us to one of the rooms, stripped, and then we went to bed, all at 7 AM on a Monday. One of the dialogue pieces just says, Lance has a 6-pack, which made my partner, who had just popped into the room, laugh so much. Then we came home with plans to go to the Skull Caverns to try and get a rain totem, but Pam was pulling a half shift today and hadn't turned up. What a surprise. Instead, we potted about, moved our dinosaurs around, put on some slime eggs, and went to bed. We woke up to the great news that there will be rain tomorrow. Then we went to the school caverns to celebrate, and we had an alright run, nothing earth-shattering though. It was raining today, so we headed over to the beach to collect the mermaid pendant. Then we slowly made our way up to the mines where Lance was. We went slowly because this is a big moment and I wanted to properly think on it. But we got there, gave him the pendant, and he said yes. We'll be married in 3 days. The rest of the day was spent fishing trying to get the Nautilus fossil. I did not find it. I'd kind of semi-achieved everything I wanted to this run, so I decided to go to the deep woods today to see if I could get any further. I did manage to make it to floor 27 before passing out, so that was okay. I didn't get any good stuff though. We went to see Robin on day 195 to ask her to upgrade the shed because I want more crystallariums. No, I need more. We also made more furnaces and went to Ginger Island to collect a chi quest, and it was finally the new mines quest. I was really excited about this because it makes radioactive ore available, which is worth so much money. So I went for a little jaunt to pick up some and only made it to floor 20. I ignored all responsibilities today and went to the mines to see how far I could get. I made it to level 65, which I was pretty happy with. I did find a prismatic shard, 25 radioactive ore, and a radioactive bar, which made me even happier. It was very productive. I did miss the Spirits Eve fair though. On day 197, we got married. It was a beautiful ceremony and I love Lance's little room thing. It's very adventure-y. Then it was off to the mines again to try and reach the bottom, but I'd made a fatal flaw. I'd forgotten that the regular mines went to floor 120. So I thought I'd be able to do it, but no. I did make it to floor 107 before I had to leave, which I think was a pretty good effort. I found another prismatic shard and an auto petter which a slime dropped. These new mines are pretty next level for an adventurer like Beck. We went to go and get some hay from Marnie today to feed my dinosaurs, but she was going to the island, which is rude because my animals are starving. So I also went to the island to pick up a chi quest. This time it was a Skull Caverns one with much more dangerous monsters. So off I went. I made it quite far down and managed to find a few treasure rooms as well as 2 prismatic shards. The luck of today, it's like the universe sensed that we were so close to the end. I had some time to kill while waiting for Pam to turn up to take me to the caverns, so I went down to the beach just to see if I might find a Nautilus fossil. And can you believe it? I did! I had all but given up hope on completing the museum, but we hopped on over and handed it in, claiming our star drop in the process. Then I headed to the mines where we had more luck. We made it to floor 60, but I managed to find a prismatic shard and a few chi gems along the way. I'm very happy, with only 1 day left to go. The day is finally here. I started off by rearranging the shed with the crystallariums so it looked a little more ordered, and then I went to the caverns. It went okay, we didn't make it too far down, but it was a good run. We found 2 treasure rooms, one after the other, and with that we were done. It felt like a good end to the challenge, ending with the Skull Caverns. So, let's look over what we've achieved. We married Lance, we got the townspeople to accept a slime into their midst. We found 3 lucky rings and a hell of a lot of prismatic shards. We defeated arguably the biggest boss in the game and got the best possible weapon. We made more than 2.5 million gold. We achieved Protector of the Valley and completed the museum. We won the egg hunt, which is possibly one of the most important of our goals. We have a dinosaur farm and we got into Mr. Cheese Room. I am pretty happy with all of that, to be honest. I think it'll do. Thank you for watching this series. It's been so much fun to make and I've already got loads of ideas for more 100 days videos in my brain. Let me know which games you think deserve the 100 days treatment. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and you can also follow me over on Twitch where I stream 3 days a week. Thank you once again and I hope you have a lovely day wherever you are in the world.